This is Nick with logosbynick.com, and in this tutorial I'll be demonstrating how you can create this wavy banner with text on it using Procreate for the iPad. So we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm going to open up a new document and I'm going to use the regular screen size right there. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to open up the layers menu and turn off the visibility of the background layer. So the first thing we're going to do is create some text on the canvas that we'd like to use on the banner. So to do that, I'm going to use white for the text. So I'm going to change the color up here to white. And for the color picker, by default, you should have the disk. I like to use the classic. In case you want to know how to get to the classic color picker, you could just come over here at the bottom. And I'm just going to use white and close out of that. And now I'm going to add some text on the canvas by tapping on the wrench up here, and I'm going to tap on add, and I'm looking for add text. So I'm going to write, just for this demonstration, I'm going to write banner text. Just write that in real quick. There we go. Now let me expand the size of this bounding box over here a bit. I'm going to triple tap on that text to select all of it, and then we get these editing options up here. I'm going to change the font to DIN condensed. You can use any font that you'd like. I personally like this font right here for this sort of design. I think it works really well for this wavy banner. Let me bring the size that up a little bit. There we go. Now we can tap on done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up here to the layers menu, and I'm going to tap on the text layer, and I'm going to tap on Rasterize. Now the text is rasterized. So let's grab the select tool now. And over here where we have snapping, let's come up here to snapping, and let's turn on snapping. And once we've done that, I just want to bring this and snap this into the center of the page like that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a banner. I'm going to create a rectangle going around this text that's going to work. It's going to serve as the banner. So first, let's set the color of the banner. I'm going to grab the color picker up here, and I'm just going to use the color red for this banner. You can use whatever color you'd like, though. Let me close out of that. Let me come back up here to the layers menu. Let me select layer 1, and let me come up here to the selection menu, and I want to create a rectangle selection like that. And I'm going to come out here just outside to the top left of the text, and I'm going to tap and drag to create a rectangle going through this text like that, a rectangle selection. And then I'm going to take the color up here on the top right and tap and drag it into the selection like that. And there you go. Now let's tap on the selection icon again to release that selection. Let's grab the select tool and then just make sure we have this snap to the center of the page like that. And now what we can do is we can turn off snapping. We don't need that anymore. In fact, it'll only get in our way for the rest of this tutorial. So go ahead and turn that off. Let's go back up here to the layers menu. Let's slide layer 1 to the left a little bit, and I'm going to tap on duplicate. And now I'm going to select the layer 1 beneath it, the one on the bottom, and then close out of that. Grab the select tool, and we're looking for, actually no, I'm going to leave uniform selected for now. I'm just going to move this over here like this. I want to make this slightly darker, so let's come back up here to the color picker, and I'm going to slide this down a little bit just to make this a little darker. And then I'm going to take that color and slide that into that duplicated rectangle right there. Now let's grab the select tool right here. Let's tap on Freeform, and let's just take this little handle over here on the right and move this in like that. Okay, now maybe even move this out like that. And there you go. That's going to make one of the tails kind of like a folded banner. So let me zoom in on this a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little indent in the side of this banner over here, this tail, to give it like a little bit of a fishtail. So let me release the selection by tapping on the selection icon. Let's first come up here to the layers menu. I want to tap on this layer 1 right here, and I want to choose alpha lock. Okay, now once you've done that, close out of the layers menu. Now I want to come back up here to the selection menu, and I want to choose automatic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on the top left corner over here. I still want to keep the entirety of the entire height of the banner within my viewfinder here so I can see what's going on. But I want to get a close-up view. I want to tap up here to create a point. Or you know what, let me undo that. I'm going to tap with 2 fingers to undo that. I chose the wrong thing. I wanted freehand. We want to use the freehand one. So come up here, top left corner, tap to create a point just outside like that. And then come over here and tap to create another point in the middle. And then another point outside here like that. And then just bring this selection out around the outside and then back to the starting point to create a new selection. And then we'll tap on the wrench and go to cut. Now if you close out of the wrench icon, you can see we gave this a little bit of a fishtail here. Okay, so now I'm going to give this a little bit of a shadow to make it look like it has some depth. So first, let's make our red an even darker shade, a much darker shade, something like that. Let me come back over here, back to the selection tool, freehand again, and I'm going to zoom in on this part right here. I'm going to create a point right out here in the corner. I'm going to create another point right here at this corner. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm going to create another point just out here, and then I'm going to bring this through like that around the outside. Let me zoom out a little bit. Back to the starting point, and then fill that in with this color right here. And if you can see what we have going on there, let me release the selection. If you see what we have going on there, it has a little bit of depth, like the banner is folded. So what I'm going to do now is, let me go back to the layers menu. Let's create a duplicate of this and move it over to the other side. So I'm going to slide this to the left a little bit, tap on duplicate, close out of the layers menu. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let me take the selection tool, and we want to choose uniform. I'm going to bring this over here, this duplicated copy, and I want to tap on at the bottom of the menu here where it says rotate 45 degrees. I'm going to tap on that once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and there we go. Now we'll come back over here to Freeform. Let me move this over here, and I just want to snap this onto this corner like this. Well, it's not going to snap, but we're just going to place it right about there. There we go, close enough. So let me zoom out a little bit. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, as you can see, the banner text is starting to come together. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a duplicate of the text layer, and I'm going to make that a darker shade of red to make it look like it's casting a little bit of a drop shadow. So let me release this selection up here. You know what? Let me adjust that because it looks like I accidentally moved it with that accidental tap before. There we go. That's better. Okay, so let's go back to the layers. Well, let's release the selection. Let's go back up here to the layers menu. I want to take the banner text, slide that to the left, and go to duplicate. Tap on the bottom one to select it. Tap on it again, go to alpha lock, tap on it again, and we are looking for fill layer. And that's going to fill it with that dark red color we have. Now we can close out of the layers menu. Let's grab the select tool and then just tap and drag to move this out here like that. That right about there is what we're looking for. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me adjust the position just a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. Now let me zoom out again. Okay, so as you can see, we have a straightened banner here. What we're going to do now is we're going to make this thing wavy to make it look like it's a wavy banner. So let me come back up here. Let me release the selection. Let me come back up here to the layers menu. And what I want to do is I just want to merge everything together. So starting with the top layer, tap on it once, tap on it again, and go to merge down. And I'm going to do the same thing. Tap on it, merge down, tap on it, merge down, and merge down. Now we have everything on one layer. Now, if you want, you can create a duplicate of this layer. If just in case like you want to preserve a straight copy of this banner text, you can just slide this and go to duplicate and then turn off the visibility, and then you will have that backup copy there. You don't have to do that though, completely optional. So let's close out of that. Let's make this thing wavy now, like it's flowing in the wind or something. To do that, let me come back up here to the selection tool, and I'm going to choose warp. And over here at the bottom left, you're going to see an option that says Advanced Mesh. I'm going to tap on that. And if you notice, we're going to get all of these nodes on our selection here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these nodes up here and then just move them up like this. And I want to move this up, as you see here. And it's going to create this illusion that the banner is flowing up like that. Let me just adjust this a little bit so it looks a little more consistent. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to take this, move this down, move this down, move this down, and move this down. So basically what we're doing is we're taking these nodes and moving them up, and then taking these nodes over here on the right and moving them down. Okay, now it's starting to look good. Okay, so now let's go to let's go to the distort option now. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take this top node up here in the middle and just move this to the right a little bit to give it a little bit of a shear. And I'll take this node over here on the right and move that up to give it a little more shear. And now I'll come back over here to Freeform, and I want to take this node right here, this little green handle up top, and just rotate that around like that. Okay, now we can release the selection. Let me zoom out a little bit. As you can see, we're finished. We are done with our banner text. Now, if you want to change the size of the canvas to fit the finished design, what you can do is come back up here to the wrench icon or the actions menu. Come over here to where it says canvas and select on crop and resize. And I'm just going to take these. I'm going to take the page border and move that in towards the edges of the banner right there. Tap on done. You zoom out. And if you want, you could turn on the background layer to see how it looks up against that white background. But once you're finished, you're going to want to remove the background and export that as a PNG image so you can use that with the transparent background. But that's how it looks with the white background applied. And I think that should do it for this tutorial. That's how you can go about creating that wavy banner with text using Procreate for the iPad. So if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. And as always, thanks for watching.